Brothers and sisters, it's my delight and privilege and pleasure to bring you here to the midst of this extraordinary phenomena. Think of it, an edible schoolyard here in Berkeley, California, where right next door to Martin Luther King High School, and the students and their instructors have created this magnificent permaculture edible landscape. It's replete with vegetables, with flowers, with fruiting trees, and as far as I'm concerned, it's an intimation of what we can be, of the forces of sustainability and regeneration. We can come through, and this edible schoolyard proves it. And what we're going to be doing today, in late July, is planting a garden. We're going to be planting a garden for autumn and winter. You never start your winter garden in winter. You never start your spring garden in spring or your summer garden in summer. You try to be always 3 months ahead. So now we're going to be seeding a garden for autumn and winter, when everything is going to be slowing down. Growth slows down very, very quickly and appreciably. So basically, you plant your winter garden now, midsummer. So let's go ahead and let's put it all together. Here we have it, a single flat with potting soil in it, sifted potting soil, and a little well-composted cow manure. And in this flat, I'm going to be creating a garden for autumn and winter. And the reason why we're doing this, ostensibly, of course, to provide magnificent salad greens throughout the year, but there's a deeper, more profound reason. We're going to be doing this planting because health statistics clearly show Americans have been getting increasingly sicker over the past few decades. Life expectancy in these United States is dropping. Chronic diseases are rampant, and children are increasingly coming down with diseases that in the past did not arise until much later in life. Never before in American history has there been anything like the epidemic of obesity, the epidemic of heart disease, the epidemic of cancer, the epidemic of depression, the epidemic of opioids, the epidemic of sexually transmitted disease, the epidemic of Alzheimer's, and the epidemic of suicides, all concurrently. And this amidst the deafening silence of a social isolation and depth of loneliness such as never before been seen. So we're going to be doing a planting because 115 Americans die of opioid overdoses every day. Think of it, 115 every day. And what we're going to be doing is regenerating the topsoil in our neighborhoods and schools. There are still many vacant lots that can be turned into community gardens, and every schoolyard an edible schoolyard, and every park an edible landscape. your front yard an heirloom fruit orchard, and your backyard a biodynamic, intensive vegetable garden. That's the vision. So let's begin. Let's begin with our winter garden. And if you listen carefully, I'll be giving you some hints as to how to go about doing this. And the first thing is, the larger the seed, the more it makes sense to soak the seed overnight. That always helps with germination. So here we have, we're going to start with a classic American variety of spinach, a Bloomsdale spinach. I've soaked the seeds overnight, and I'm going to put the seeds out. This is a Bloomsdale spinach. It's a Savoyed spinach. The leaves are crinkly and delicious. So here's my spinach. And then I'm going to do a Swiss chard, a yellow Swiss chard called Oreo Swiss chard. And once again, the seeds are rather large, so I've soaked them overnight. Oreo Swiss chard. Okay. And then we're going to do a parsley. Parsley takes 3 weeks to germinate, so I'm helping it along. I've been soaking it for a couple days, changing the rinse water, of course. I've soaked it overnight and then rinse the seeds twice a day, day and night. So this is an Italian longleaf parsley. It's the one I favor because it's so vigorous and productive. Italian parsley, just a magnificent parsley. Let's do a couple more. And then we have a beet called Burrow Beet, which I got from Johnny Selected Seed, an excellent seed company. Burrow Beet, a brand new hybrid beet. Though most of these vegetables are, of course, heirloom varieties. Burrow beet. Then we have here a peppermint chard. Okay. And then another spinach. This is a very vigorous tall variety called Noble spinach. Noble spinach. And last but not least, a McGregor's beet. This beet is grown primarily for its tops. Its tops make wonderful salad greens. McGregor beet, a Scotch beet, of course. Okay. So basically, we've planted all of our larger seeds. We've planted spinach, and we've planted chard. Now I want to get into some heirloom varieties of lettuce, if I may. And we'll start with Hungarian pink winter lettuce. And another hint, by the way, with lettuce, you don't cover you don't soak overnight, certainly not, and you don't cover the seeds. You just leave the seeds on the top of the surface. And then I want to do another heirloom lettuce. This is called Marvel of Four Seasons. It is a beautiful, gorgeous lettuce. It just stands out and shines in the garden. So we have Marvel of Four Seasons lettuce. It's a French lettuce. I have a lettuce called dark green romaine lettuce. Red rosy lettuce. All of these are heirloom varieties going way back. So let's do our red rosy lettuce. I got this from the Restoration Seed Company. Grandma Hadley's lettuce. It's gorgeous. Crimson green lettuce. Can't resist but to be planting it. Grandma Hadley's lettuce. Winter Density, a very reliable standby, especially for here in the Northwest. It's a beautiful, sturdy, robust romaine. And then we have another lettuce called Outstanding Lettuce. That's its name. I got this from Bountiful Gardens. Outstanding Lettuce. Let's try a bronze gold ring lettuce. Okay, and let's conclude with that. So what I'm going to do when I take this home, I'm going to soak the flat with my garden hose, and then I'm going to enclose the flat in a enclose the flat in a plastic. And to speed germination, I'm going to put the flat in my compost pile for a couple days. That would get everything going. That would speed germination marvelously. And then I'll take it out. I'll take out the flat with the seedlings just started, and I'll put it in direct sunlight to harden them off. That's very, very important indeed, because if you don't do that, they'll become spindly very quickly. And then I will water twice a day. And when the seedlings are up and have become robust and sturdy, I will transplant this intensive flat into other flats. I'll make up 3 or 4 flats from the seedlings, spacing them widely or apart. And then when they're ready, in maybe 2 or 3 months, I will transplant the seedlings into their permanent beds in my garden for autumn and winter. They'll grow all winter long. So those are a couple tips and a couple secrets. And the thing is, people, we cannot rely on the food chain. You cannot rely upon a farmer specialist to grow your food for yourself. We've got to rely upon ourselves. It is our duty to regenerate this American topsoil. It is our duty to take vacant yards, and especially gardens and lawns, and create them into fruit gardens, into vegetable gardens. happening. Thank you so very much indeed. It has been a privilege to share with you, and I hope that I've inspired you. I've inspired you to go out there and start your winter garden now. Thank you indeed. A privilege, and bye for now.